Sustainable Development Goal number 8 is about ensuring economic growth and work benefits everyone in society and protects our planet. It includes protecting labour rights, ending modern slavery and promoting youth employment.
I think the Sustainable Development Goals are a useful set of indicators. I think they give focus and they give some clarity to some of the wicked problems.
It's coming back to the question of what do we want the economy to do, and how do we go about building an economy that is sustainable, so one that actually manages to increase equity and make sure people are not in serious harm, but at the same time doesn't overexploit the resources that we have and the environmental systems that are supporting that economic growth.
My research focuses on how we transition towards a circular economy using innovation and entrepreneurship tools.
Well, the project we've been working on around donut economics with Cornwall Council is linked to this idea of decent work and economic growth, in that if we're going to have economic growth, we need to do it in a sustainable way, and that's what donut economics is all about, really. It's about how do we, if we leave aside the question of whether or not we need economic growth, which is another big debate, but if we're going to have an economy that kind of meets the needs of people and yet remains within environmental limits, how do we go about doing that? So that's part of the research that I've been working on.
We're probably not going to get close to many of these indicators by 2030, and that's because we are anchored in a linear economy. The real shift will be to move towards a new circular economy, and then I think many of the indicators should fall out of that transition.
It's obviously a very ambitious goal, but that's really what we need is to have the ambition to make these really big changes and to build an economy that is more fair, is more equitable.
I think that the global pandemic really gave us something to think about when it comes to what we call decent work and when it comes to economic growth. And I think one of the great challenges we face over the coming years now is this quote-unquote reset when it comes to work. These are being questioned.
Well, one of the big challenges is that we have very high levels of inequality. So on the one hand, we have some sectors of society that have huge, very high levels of consumption and are using lots of natural resources. And on the other hand, we have people who are in serious harm and have not met their basic needs. So to try and have a more kind of equitable and fair society, we need to sort of address both ends of that. And that's part of addressing this goal, I think. What we probably need to do is to make sure they're embedded in all programmes, because the great thing about the SDGs is that they're for all countries and they're equally applicable to the UK as they are to other countries around the world.
Exeter is clearly doing great work implementing circular economic models into teaching and in practice down in Cornwall. Our next steps will be to advance decent work and perhaps implementing circular models on campus.